Hi, JP. This is Michael from OTC, OnlineTOEFLCourse.com. And you sent me a speaking practice test, I think, yesterday, right? Now, I'm going to give you a tip here. I've noticed you're having a little bit of trouble sometimes with your language use, even pronunciation. So maybe once a week when you do your speaking practice, you can write out the whole response, then really look it over. Double check it for grammatical correctness. And that includes word order and noun clauses. Make sure everything is correct. Verb tenses, subject verb agreement. You're not missing any grammatical word endings on any of your words. Your passive or active voice is correct. All of it. And then practice it a few times and then email it to me. So sometimes if you pay attention to the language, really closely once a week, that can help you overcome some of these habits you have when you're speaking, what I call bad habits. If you just do the practice, speaking practice over and over and over, you just keep making the same mistakes. Now, of course, that's what you're paying me to do is you're paying me to point out what those mistakes are. Of course, then you can avoid making them in future practices, and ultimately you'll have fewer mistakes during the TOEFL exam. The speaking practices you're answering right now is I'm looking at your email. So some parents educate their own children at home. Others insist that their children should be sent to school. Which way of learning do you think is preferable and why? Give examples and reasons to support your point of view. And I have the independent speaking rubrics right in front of me so I can see. And I really want to get you into this four area here. You're almost there, but you still have some bad habits you got to get rid of. It's some speech, delivery bad habits, and also a few language use issues. So let's see how you did on this practice test. Okay, let's listen to the whole thing. I'll listen to it one time without making any comments at all. And then the second time, I'll make some comments.
While some parents feel that education should be happening at the school to have a more interactive sessions with teachers or the professors.
Why is some parents feel you can't do that? You can't say is plus feel. If you say is the be verb, then you're going to have to use the present participle, right? But it's why do some parents feel? So be careful of your basics. This is the basics. When you're forming questions, right? This is a WH question, but you need to use do in there.
In my personal opinion, I feel that educating children at home, especially at this time of coronavirus crisis, it would be more beneficial. One reason is that when I'm at home, I could even take care of the children's other work. For example, the homework or how they are performing. I could actually track on that. Second reason is that along with my online work, I would be able to more efficiently do the time management. So for these reasons, I would prefer to educate children at home rather than sending them to a school.
Okay. So my first impression is right off the bat you had your very first error within the first 2 or 3 seconds. So I think you still have a few language use issues. You have some minor problems with your delivery. I'm going to say maybe between 24 and 26 points out of 30. You're almost there. Let's listen to it one more time.
While some parents feel that education should be happening at the school to
Why do some parents feel that education should happen? I would just say should happen at the school.
have a more interactive sessions with teachers or the professors. In my personal opinion, I feel that educating children at home, especially at this time of coronavirus crisis, it would be more beneficial.
No, educating children at home, not it would be, just say educating children at home would be more beneficial. You're using that gerund phrase as your subject, right? So you don't need to say it after that. If you do, it's like saying, Michael, he is going to the store. You don't have to say Michael, he is going. Just say Michael is going to the store.
One reason is that when I'm at home, I could even take care of the children's other work. For example, the homework or how they are performing. I could actually track on that. Second reason is that along with my
I would say I can actually monitor their progress as they're completing these assignments. So you need to be a little more specific there at that point. And that's a very I can track on that. That's too simple. Too simple grammar there. So,
online work, I would be able to more
okay, let me go back. Let me check your language use here.
are performing, I could actually track on that. Second reason is that along with my online work, I would be able to more efficiently do the time management. So for these reasons, I would prefer to educate children at home rather than sending them to a school.
Okay, so I think you probably spent a little too much time in the introduction kind of setting things up, and it didn't give you enough time to develop your ideas. If you said something like this in the beginning, this is the importance of framing your response from the beginning, because if your introduction is very specific, then you can get to your examples a lot faster. You might say, to keep them safe from the coronavirus and to be able to track their assignments as they complete them, I prefer to educate my children at home. Then say, first of all, educating my children at home will be much safer during this pandemic. And then give an example to illustrate that. Say, second of all, having my children study at home allows me to track their progress as they complete their assignments. And then you give a specific example to support that. So I think you need a little bit better structure, and you don't spend so much time setting your introduction up that you don't have enough time to really develop your ideas after that. So I think your score here, I'm going to say between 24 and 26. Probably you're not at 26 yet, so be careful of some of the language use issues I pointed out. Also, some topic development suggestions I just gave you. And with delivery, you're speaking pretty clearly, so there's not a lot of major problems in there. Maybe some minor problems with pacing. And if you go to my course, that means thought groups and blending. Sometimes you pause a little too much sometimes, and then you want to blend the words within your thought groups a little bit better. All right, so those are my comments, and thank you for completing this practice test.